Hi guys, Tracy here, and I have a layout to share with you guys that's already completed. This is a layout that I did while I was at my friend Stephanie's house scrapbooking. And so because I went out, I obviously didn't do a process video for this one, but this is using the Everybody Talks kit, which is the October kit from Scraptastic, and it's using the kit and the add-on. And so I'm just going to walk you through this layout and talk a little bit about what I did. So this piece of cardstock is a piece of Bazzill cardstock. I believe it came in the add-on, and so I used that as my background. I did kind of go back and forth a little bit about whether I wanted to use a blue background or a pink background, but I kind of felt like, and I kept changing back and forth because I did like the contrast between this polka dot paper and the pink paper. Let me see if I can pull that out and just show you what I was kind of considering. I think it was the lighter. There were two colors of pink cardstock in this kit, and I think I was kind of thinking about that one, so it would have kind of looked like that. And I was also kind of thinking about that one, so I was kind of going back and forth. I can't remember which of these I had picked as the one I preferred, but I was kind of going back and forth between the pink and the blue. And the reason I went with the blue is that I didn't want it to have kind of like a back and forth type of look to it. I didn't want it to be like pink and then blue and then pink and then blue and then pink and then, you know, I didn't want it to be so kind of matchy, I guess. So I decided to go with like a blue background on a different shade of blue, as kind of like this is my biggest pattern that shows. Oh, here's Maya coming to say hello. So sorry, I'm trying to decide how to talk about this. I have to get rid of my cat. Just a second. Okay. She comes when I start talking. She thinks I'm talking to her. So this is a piece of paper from my mind's eye from the cut and paste collection, this blue and white polka dot one. And this is what it looks like on the other side. I love this pattern, and at first I really wanted to use it. Pardon me. I really wanted to use this one as my background, but it's so busy for such a big piece, and I also just really love this blue and white polka dot, so I decided to go with that one. Then I layered a rectangle of this paper, which is also from the cut and paste collection, this arrow paper, and I outlined both of them. And then I worked on my cluster. So what I did with my cluster was I took 3 of these frames from the Maggie Holmes. It's from the flea market collection from Crate Paper, and these frames, a whole package of them came in the kit, so there's lots to use. So you don't have to feel bad when you get a whole package of something in a kit. You don't have to feel bad about piling it on and really going for a textured, layered look. So what I did was I took the 4x6 one, and even though my picture was an Instagram that was not 4x6, I started with the 4x6 frame, which is this wood grain frame right here. And what I did was, instead of putting a picture in it, I put a piece of this gorgeous printed vellum from the flea market collection. It has like a bokeh look to it, and the only problem with using it this way is that you'll lose that bokeh effect to it, but you can kind of see it's got a bit of variation here. It goes from almost clear to light blue to dark blue, and so it does add a bit of interest, and you see it again right here. So you don't see much of this vellum, but it just adds a little tiny bit of interest. I'm really pleased with how it looks like that. So that's my kind of the background layer for what's going to be the photo and the embellishments that go in the photo. Then I framed the photo in this pink canvas frame, and then I layered this cream colored like lined paper canvas frame over top of it. And this frame came with these banners, like with these 2 half circles and these 2 banners already sewn onto it. So all that I did to embellish it is, well, first of all, I stapled it all together so it wouldn't shift around too much. And then I added some enamel dots that came in the kit, and I added a little white sequin, and the white sequin is the same color as the paper that it's on, and I like to do that for a little bit of interest when it's not going to be necessarily a competing color with, like, I didn't want it to compete with this cluster of enamel dots that I already had, but it just adds a little bit of interest and a different texture and some shininess. So that's what I did with that. And then I added, this was a sticker that came on this sticker sheet right here. It was this bottom one. I didn't, oh yeah, it is the bottom one. That's a piece I cut off from this one. So it was that bottom one. And I just did a tiny bit of journaling there, Olivia Scott and Sage. And it's okay that Sage is a little bit covered by this camera because it's not attached and you can lift it and see it. And plus we know that that's Sage without even seeing the E. Okay, so the next thing that I did was oh yes, and this frame here came with these 2 banners on it. So I added a flare badge that came in the kit. It says "Say What," and then I added 3 of those sequins. They're from Teresa Collins and they also came in the kit just to add some interest. And then I slid the gold, this came from the ephemera pack from the flea market collection. It came in the kit. And so I slid that under there and it was really quite glaringly gold. And so what I did was I just layered a real doily just from my stash just to kind of tone it down a little bit because a lot of it was showing. And I wanted to just kind of like soften up this corner. This corner had a lot of angles on it. Even though the flare badge adds a bit of softening, I just wanted it to be a little bit softer over there. So I added the gold piece of ephemera from the ephemera pack, and it's just a scallop circle and then a doily. This is another label from that same label set that I showed you. It said, "You're amazing." It was this one. And I just kind of layered it down there just to kind of, it looked too plain, so I just put that there. These are the letter stickers that came in the kit. They're from Pebbles and they look like chalkboard letters. They're really nice. They're a nice block font. I love block font. Another thing that didn't come in the kit that was from my stash besides the doily is these letter stickers. These are Kelly Perky letter stickers. I love Kelly Perky. Love letter stickers and stamps and everything else she does. So had those in my stash and they're kind of a nice color, so I also used them up here for the Boston 2013. I'll talk about that cluster in a second. So I think I've talked about everything in this cluster except maybe this. I just stapled the camera in place and then it was looking a little plain, so I just took one of those little Ormolu flags that come in the kit. Every month we get 2 cut apart sets of things that we can cut apart into banners and flags and labels and stuff. So I just put that there. I didn't put anything on it because it's going to be covered by that. So I just left it as a little tag that kind of falls out there, that kind of sticks out, and it kind of balances off with this. So I've got something dark up here, I've got something dark here, I've got the title is dark, and then I've got a little bit of like the dark label and the dark kind of stuff up here. So then the last thing that I did here in this section was I added 2 pieces of washi tape just to bring in the pink, and I added random layers of sequins. So each time that you see this, this is a white sequin with a silver sequin inside of it. So I did it there and there, there. I just kind of spread them out so that they kind of were all over the place. And I think that makes a really nice detail for a layout. Even though you can't quite see that that sequin is almost exactly the same size as the white polka dot, so you can't really see it. I just like adding that little bit of interest and texture. And that's for those of you who, people who look at my scrapbook who take a little bit more time to take it in will notice that kind of thing. And other people who just flip through won't get to see that, and that's fine. So then in the top cluster, I just took a little scrap of the printed vellum. Again, you can't quite see you can't quite appreciate the print when it's such a tiny piece, but that's okay. It does kind of go from darker to lighter. This is another one of those Ormolu banner things that I cut out. I just stapled it in place. I put a little sequin where the arrows cross. I added 3 enamel dots there and did just my little, it's kind of like a subtitle, Boston 2013, and I put a little layer of washi tape there behind everything. I outlined the whole thing And that is my layout. So thanks so much for watching, you guys. I do have another layout that I'm going to share with you guys. It's actually a partially completed layout. So I started on this one while I was at my friend Stephanie's house, but I didn't finish it. So I'm going to show you what I've got so far, and then I'm going to finish it up in kind of like a half process video. Thanks for watching.